Hey everybody, I just wanted to let you guys know that the entrances and the opening and that kind of stuff have changed. I can't really have the videos anymore, I don't think, because of I don't want to do copyright infringement. It's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to steal anyone's stuff. I'm not here to take the limelight from anyone. I'm here as a wrestling fan to do reviews and do what I love, and that's talk about wrestling. So things are a little bit different this format, this show. Show number 2. Enjoy the show.
Creek swimming, moonshine sipping, deer skinning, beer drinking, Johnny Cash listening. All these words are true, and I'll make you believe. One more shot and then I'm over and out. Gonna show the non-believers what I'm talking about. Are you ready? You think you could tell us what to do? My time is now. You think you could tell us what to wear? I'm a cult of personality. You think that you're better? Bow to the masters.
Chain gang is a click.
And welcome everyone to episode 2 of Hashtag Face Talk. I am your host, the hashtag face, no regrets, Cena Tattoo Tony. It was an alright week in wrestling. I have a little bit more reviews, and I also have TNA's Slammiversary 10 predictions, or at least my wants and hopes and fears. So it should be a little bit longer than normal, but let's get into it. Monday Night Raw. And we start Raw off tonight with the Big Show promo from his heel turn for the past few weeks. As soon as that's over, we have Cole in the ring. He is announcing that he's going to interview John Cena. Cena's music hits. Cena comes out, comes down to the ring, and Cole reminds Cena about his 2 knockout punches, and then blames Cena for all the damage that Big Show has done to R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, Brodus Clay, all the people that the Santino, Ryder, all the people that Big Show has hurt over the past few weeks. Says that it's Cena's fault and that Cena is self-centered and overrated, and if he was really a good friend to Show, he would have done something about what Laurinaitis did. And then Cena says that he was trying to do something about it, and if Show would have just waited, he was going to take John Laurinaitis out for good, and that way Show would have his job again, because there wouldn't be anyone who wouldn't want to sign the world's largest athlete. Cena says that Big Show just wanted a bigger paycheck, and Cole says that he thinks that Cena is jealous of Show, and that he has supported Cena since day one, but now he's starting to second guess his opinion. He hopes that Show will put Cena out of our misery. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that Cena is overrated and that Cena is outplayed and this, that, and the other, but I'm a Cena fan. I have a Cena tattoo, okay? I am a Cena mark. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it was getting stale there for a minute, but Cena's back to doing the decent stuff that he usually does. So, and anyways, Cole then reminds Cena that he can't hit him because it is prohibited to hit an announcer, and that's when Super Dave's music comes out. Super Dave comes out and says that in the interest of fairness and people power, he let Big Show pick his opponent last week, so he's going to let Cena pick his opponent this week. And Cena says, okay, I want Big Show. He goes, let me remind you that Big Show is now on a contract that has a set amount of appearances on the show, and that he is not here tonight, so he cannot pick Big Show. And then Cena says that he wants John Laurinaitis, and John Laurinaitis says, well, I'm retired, you can't pick me. So Cena turns around and thinks and says that it's going to be an awesome Raw because he wants his opponent to be Michael Cole. Michael Cole starts laughing and says that they can't do that, and says, Johnny, tell him he can't do that, tell him he can't do that. John Laurinaitis turns around on his hover round and then leaves. And Cole's left in the ring whining like a little girl. We come back from break and we find Cole backstage trying to talk to Super Dave, saying that the WWE Universe does not want to see Michael Cole in a match with John Cena. And then all of a sudden, the crowd pops. Laurinaitis says, yeah, they do. And stop calling me Big Johnny. We then go to the match, Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus. Before I start these match reviews and this, that, and the other, I know I'm not the best at reviews, and I apologize for that. Where I lack, I apologize. I'm sorry. But with time, I'll get better. So please, just bear with me. Ziggler, the match is basically what you would expect. Ziggler wrestles. Sheamus is the punchy, kicky. Back and forth. A lot of the match ends up Sheamus hits the white noise and then the bro kick for the win. No interference, which is good. But Sheamus is heading back up the ring, and Del Rio attacks him from behind. Sheamus starts getting the upper hand, and then Rodriguez comes from behind, and he grabs Sheamus by the legs. Del Rio starts beating him down. He gets put in the cross arm breaker hanging off the ramp. Sheamus is writhing in pain, of course, and we go to break. Come back, and Sin Cara versus Hunico. And of course we have the stripper lights and the mood lighting for the match, which I think is completely retarded. I completely and wholeheartedly agree with 3 Count Radio when they say that this lighting is ridiculous. Stripper lights commence. Decent match, both quality wrestlers when they aren't botching, and that does happen quite a bit. So normal Sin Cara, Hunico, what you would expect. They were both Sin Cara at one point in time. Good match, but eventually Sin Cara wins with the flying head scissors. We then come to Ryback versus 2 jobbers. This is a this match, I actually watched it, and there were times where I got up out my seat because it looked so gnarly. Some of the times that Ryback hit some of these hits. Either way, Ryback ended up doing the double finisher again, and winning, of course. He killed them. I'd be surprised if they wrestled within the next few months. They looked pretty hurt. Next we have the Kane and Punk match, which is supposed to be has to have a winner match. Punk comes out, then Bryan comes out, goes to the announce table, stands on the announce table, does his Q&A time, which entertaining, yes, retarded, yes, to me. Asks if AJ has been delusional since he dumped her, yes. Asks if Kane will destroy CM Punk tonight, yes. Asks if Daniel Bryan will win the WWE Championship at No Way Out, yes. Kane comes out, ends the Q&A time, thank God. then we have CM Punk versus Kane. Punk does his normal technical wrestling. Kane does his normal powerhouse wrestling. Halfway through the match, Kane and Punk are out by the announce table. Kane throws Punk into the barricade, gets back in the ring. Ref isn't looking. Bryan comes and kicks Punk in the back, sits back down before the ref sees him. AJ comes running down the ramp to tell the ref what happened. Bryan goes around the ring and tells AJ to get out of here and this, that, and the other. She's arguing with him. And so then Punk goes on the top rope, does a flying dive into Daniel Bryan, throws him in a barricade, gets back in the ring. Kane does a choke slam, 1, 2, 3, and Kane wins. After the match, Kane stares at AJ like he's going to hurt her and he wants to kill her. And so Bryan comes up from behind, attacks Kane. Kane ends up beating him down. Turns back to AJ, and AJ smiles, and Kane kind of looks confused and then just leaves. We then go backstage after the break. AJ is talking to Josh Matthews, and he asks her what the weird look was about, and she says, well, what are you talking about? I like it when men stare at me. It makes me feel good. And what's the matter? You don't like aggressive women? And she says, well, I do. And then she grabs Josh Matthews by his tie and starts flirting with him and says, you know, you might be my type. And then taps him on the head and walks off. Next, we go to break, and we come back with a match in progress. We have Little Jimmy and Paradise versus Hawkins and Rex. Like I said, match has already started by the time we come back. Kofi and R-Truth have the upper hand most of the match. Kofi hits a Trouble in Paradise on Rex, I believe, and then pins him and wins. So we have Little Jimmy and Paradise for the win. They need to work on this tag team division. It's going down quick. It's been going down for a long time, and I really wish they would do more with it. They have so much potential for these tag team divisions. And this is why there's points that I do like TNA better, because, you know, TNA has a decent tag team division. TNA has a great women's division, a whole lot better than WWE. And they have the X division, and the X division is wonderful too, even though they're kind of slacking on it lately. But the X division is great, and if WWE had those things, it wouldn't be that bad. Either way, Super Dave comes out and says that he knows that the WWE Universe wants to see Michael Cole versus John Cena, and he is here to deliver and go over the top with it. And that if John Cena can beat this next guy, it'll be a no DQ match. Tensai comes out. It's a normal Tensai match. Tensai dominates most of the match. Halfway through, Cena's fighting Tensai. By the announcer table, Tensai slams his head into the announcer table. Cole starts talking shit to Cena and then slaps Cena across the face because he is just under the assumption that Tensai cannot lose, and this won't come back on him anyway. Cena gets slammed into the steel steps and is out until the 8 count, gets back in the ring. Tensai slams Cena into the mat and goes for his senton. Cena rolls out the way, gets up, does a shoulder tackle, knocks Sakamoto off the apron, and then does a 5-knuckle shuffle and an AA for the win. Cena is up and he's holding his arms because he won the match, and then he remembered that he had a match with Cole. This, honestly, to me, was the best part of the night. It was the most entertaining part of the night. Other than AJ being crazy, it's not much of a... wasn't very good of a show. Either way, Cole looks like he's about to be sick, and he's babbling to himself. He gets up and tries running out of the way. Cena goes over the barricade, pulls him back from the crowd, throws him over the barricade. Cole tries going the other way. Cena grabs him and throws him into the barricade, picks him up, throws him into the ring. And Cole has a microphone and says, "Wait, wait, wait. We can be friends, John. We can be friends. Let's do this like friends. And I've supported you your entire career, and we're really good friends. Let's just shake on this and do this like friends should do." Cena starts laughing. Cole takes off his jacket and his tie and unbuttons his shirt and says, "Oh, you think this is funny? You all think this is funny?" And he starts getting in Cena's face, and he says, "Maybe you don't remember who I am. I am undefeated at WrestleMania, and my name is Michael Cole, and you would do well to remember that." And Cena grabs the mic while it's still in Cole's hands and say, "We're going to remember you tonight as the guy that got his ass kicked." And so then Cena tears open his shirt and does a nice chop on Cole, gets him in the corner, puts his finger up and tells the crowd be quiet, and then he does this really mean chop on Cole. Mind you, this is after he has ripped off Cole's pants, after he has pretty much shredded Cole's shirt. He gets Cole in a headlock, gets a microphone, and says, "Now you know that match at WrestleMania between you and Jerry Lawler was a fraud. I think you deserve Jerry Lawler, I think you owe Jerry Lawler an apology." And so he apologizes to Jerry, and he says, "And there's another man that I know is watching at home right now, and that's old Jim Ross. And maybe you should apologize to him too." And Cole's like, "Oh, you're my mentor. You're the greatest announcer ever to live. And I'm sorry. He goes, "And man, I sure do love JR's barbecue sauce. Don't y'all?" He says it just like that. Says it like a redneck. And he says, "Why don't you tell everyone how good JR's barbecue sauce is?" He's saying this while he's pulling the headlock tighter. And Cole's pretty much choked now. He has the microphone in his face, and he goes, "It's Slobberknocker good." Which was, dude, I was laughing this whole match. So Cena says, "Man, I sure do wish we had some JR's barbecue sauce right now." And Jerry says, "Oh, I always have some with me." Pulls out 3 bottles, and Cena says, "Oh, well, I don't need this anymore." Hits Cole in the head, gets the barbecue sauce back in the ring, pours it all over Cole. And Cena tastes it. He goes, "Oh, that's the hot stuff. That's hot." So he goes out the ring and he gets the extinguisher, gets back in the ring, and he sprays down Cole all over the place. Sprays him. And then Tensai comes in and does his, it's like the power bomb, but with the neck. So he choke slams him, the choke bomb. And then Cole's in the corner, notices that Cena's down because Tensai has already left, and goes to pin him. Cena kicks out at 2. Cole throws a fit, gets up, grabs the extinguisher, goes to hit Cena with the extinguisher, and Cena ducks. He misses. He gets Cole in the AA, does the attitude adjustment on Michael Cole, and that's the end of the show. So I know I said I would start doing TNA reviews. Didn't have the music for it. Well, I got the music for it, and I did watch it this week, and I did do my review on it this week. So let's go to TNA Impact. Brother. And tonight Impact starts out with a recap of last week. It's Dixie ripping the ass of the producer, director, whatever, in the truck last week because of what Christopher Daniels and Kazarian said. And we start TNA with Dixie Carter on stage with pretty much tears in her eyes, saying that there's a lot she has to say and that she feels sorry for Chris Daniels and Kazarian because they are messing with people's lives. That AJ has a wife and a family, and they're messing things with they're messing with other people's lives. Also, that she's going to tell the truth tonight. And then Christopher Daniels and Kazarian come out, of course. And Christopher Daniels tells Dixie that he knows what the truth is. And the truth is that she made a mistake. And that she should tell the people that she is a woman. And that she wants what she wants. And that there's a hole in her heart that her husband couldn't fill, so she found a very suitable replacement in AJ Styles. And that's when Dixie tells him to stop talking, to shut up, and this, that, and the other. She starts pushing him. Christopher Daniels shoves her down, tells her, "Don't you ever touch me, I don't care who you are, don't you push me, don't you push me, don't you tell me what to do." And then AJ Styles comes out to save her. Christopher Daniels and Kazarian exit. And then while he's busy with them or talking shit to them, Dixie Carter's husband comes out. And her husband helps Dixie up and then goes to AJ, punches him in the face, and gets out the ring. Dixie and AJ leave the ring together. Then we start with Crimson and Austin Aries. Before the match, Samoa Joe says he knows it might not have been intentional, but that Austin Aries needs to show Samoa Joe respect. And Austin Aries says, "Look, I didn't know if I disrespected you at all, but that's just how it is." And he goes, "You want some water?" And he hands him the water, because I guess last week when he was spraying his face, it got on Samoa Joe and it pissed him off. Either way, Austin Aries starts out slow but picks up quick. Sorry about that. My batteries died. Yeah, so it starts to look like Austin Aries is going to win. Very technical match by Austin, of course. But Samoa Joe comes out, pushes Austin Aries off the top rope, and Crimson, of course, capitalizes, gets the win. Crimson is still undefeated. Blah, de blah, de blah. You know, I would be impressed if Christian, he looks like a muscly Christian, kind of, to me. Crimson issues an open challenge to anybody who is willing to challenge him at Slammiversary. And so that is going to be one of the matches, Crimson's open challenge. Next, we go to the back, and we have Brooke introducing herself to the Knockouts personally. Flatters them, tells them how they're beautiful, and they're sexual, and they got pretty clothes and nice makeup. And then informs them of their match, which is going to be a fatal four-way, or a four-way match, however TNA wants to say it. Brooke tells Velvet Sky that she also has a video shoot because Montgomery Gentry wants her in their music video, and Mickie James is eyeing this whole situation, pissed off. Of course, if you know anything about Mickie James, her song's hardcore country. She is a self-proclaimed country girl, and that would have been a great thing for her. We then go to Hogan coming out and says it's the 10-year anniversary for Impact tonight. So this is the 10-year anniversary on Impact. And that as a special gift, the heavyweight title will be defended the week after Slammiversary, no matter who is holding it. Bobby Roode comes out and interrupts and tells Hogan to shut his mouth and show him the respect that he deserves. Says that he's tired of the way he's been being treated. First, his longest title reign ever celebration was messed up by Hogan, and then the next week it was Sting in Sting in a lumberjack match against Bobby Roode, and then it was Sting has to wrestle him at Slammiversary, and now this. And that the whole reason he thinks Hogan is treating him this way is because Hogan's jealous of him. That he's a better man, a better wrestler, and a better world champion than Hogan ever was. Grabs Hogan's shirt, tells him to get out of his ring, and then Sting comes out. Bobby beats down Sting for a second, turns around, starts yelling at Hogan again, and Sting gets up behind Bobby Roode, and you just see Hogan doing this number, because Sting standing right behind him. Bobby Roode turns around, and Sting beats the hell out of Bobby Roode. And then Bobby gets kicked out the ring. And we go to Joseph Parks backstage saying that he was just trying to be a concerned brother for Abyss. His brother Chris. You know, Abyss. And that he never expected to be on camera or talking to the Impact Zone at all. He says that he is in the business of truth and justice, and at Slammiversary, he might just get a little bit of both. We then have the Knockouts match for the #1 contender at Slammiversary. It's Mickie James, Velvet Sky, Miss Tessmacher, and Tara. We start out the match with Tessmacher and Tara working together. Eventually, Mickie dominates, and then it's Tara gets Velvet Sky in what kind of looks like a sharpshooter. Might be, I'm not quite sure. And then Mickie comes from behind and gets her in a chokehold. And then Miss Tessmacher comes to the side of Mickie and gets her in a side chokehold. And it's a gigantic submission, which I thought was pretty nifty. You know, I personally believe, and I said it earlier in this video, but I think that the Knockouts division is way better than the Divas division. The Knockouts division is what WWE's Divas division should be. I'm sorry, TNA just has it. They have the women's tag titles, which of course is with EY and ODB right now. And they have the women's champion, and they have decent wrestlers. They could bring a lot of those female wrestlers over to WWE and have a great women's division. I don't know why WWE doesn't pick this up. I seem to be having camera troubles tonight. Sorry guys. I'm working off a busted camera, so the screen is busted and it's an older camera. So either way, like I was saying, Tara does a moonsault off the top rope towards Velvet Sky. Velvet Sky ends up moving out the way, and then we have Miss Tessmacher and Tara in the ring. Miss Tessmacher gets Tara out the ring, power slams Mickie James, and then pins her. Miss Tessmacher wins. So Miss Tessmacher is now your #1 contender for Slammiversary. We have a recap of Dixie from earlier, and then we have Hogan on the phone talking to AJ Styles, saying that he doesn't care about Dixie and his personal shit, and that's exactly what he said, personal shit, and that he suggests he gets back to the Impact Zone as fast as he can because he is in the main event tonight. We then go to the contract signing with Bully Ray and Jeremy Borash. Bully Ray and Joseph Parks, I'm sorry. Jeremy Borash is in the ring announcing the contract signing for Bully and Joseph. Bully comes down first, Joseph second. Bully rips up the contract, tells Joseph Parks that there is a new contract, and this contract makes it so Bully Ray is not liable for any of the damage he may do to Joseph Parks. There will be no consequences towards him, and that this is the contract that's going to be signed. And then Bully proceeds to sign it. Joseph says if Bully thinks that he's going to sign this contract, considering he's never been in a fight in his life, he's never been in the ring in his life, that Bully needs a way better doctor than Joseph Parks thought he did. Bully goes to say, okay, that's fair, okay. He goes to shake Joseph Parks' hand, and when he does, he spits in his face, and then tells him to sign the contract, you frickin' coward. Joseph says that for the past 10 years, Abyss has spilt blood and given his body for the people in the crowd and at home. And how dare he desecrates Abyss's name. He says that if he wants an all-out fight at Slammiversary, that he will do it, not for himself or for the fans, but for Abyss. Abyss comes on screen and says all their lives Joseph has been opening doors to rooms that he didn't need to be in, and that he told him to stay away from the fire or he was going to get burnt, and it won't be long until Slammiversary where he actually does. He also says to Bully that Joseph says that he was doing it to help him, and Abyss says he doesn't need his help. And Bully said, and he told Bully, he says, "You left me for dead? Well, I'm very much alive, and you and my brother are both going to see how alive I am at Slammiversary." Bully comes up from behind, hits Joseph Parks in the back of the head, and then leaves the ring. Next, we have the TV Championship match, Devon versus Robbie E. We cut to earlier in the night where Garrett Bischoff asked Devon if he could be ringside to help him, because they knew that Robbie T was going to be down there and there was going to be some shenanigans with that. They start the match. Devon comes down with Garrett Bischoff. Robbie E starts out with the upper hand over Devon. Devon knocks down Robbie E with a flying headbutt, goes to the corner, and Robbie T knocks him down. Garrett comes around the corner, pushes Robbie T, and the ref comes out to deal with him, which is Earl Hebner. Which Earl Hebner is one of my favorite referees. I'm glad that he's still in wrestling. Might I add, just for a side note. So while the ref is out of the ring dealing with Garrett, Devon puts Robbie E in a small package. Robbie T comes in and reverses it, so then Robbie E has Devon in the small package. And when the ref is dealing with Robbie T, Garrett comes in and reverses it again, and Devon is giving the small package to Robbie E. Ref comes in, counts, Devon wins. Robbie T gets in the ring and knocks both Devon and Garrett Bischoff down. And then Devon and Garrett Bischoff get up and clear the ring. We then have a Hogan recap from earlier. Then we have Hogan in the ring again, trying to finish his announcement that he was trying to say earlier when he was interrupted by Bobby. And then Mr. Anderson comes out and goes to grab the microphone, completely misses it, and tries to make a joke of it. So that's one botch. Anderson interrupts him in the ring and then thanks the crowd for calling him an asshole. A very funny, I thought it was a very entertaining promo between Hogan and Anderson. Hogan tells RVD to come down to the ring, and then he tells Jeff Hardy to come down the ring. Hogan says that there's a triple threat match at Slammiversary, and the winner is going to be the #1 contender who competes the week after Slammiversary for the title. There is several botches from Hogan goes to shake RVD's hand, and they mess up, and RVD's just standing there like, "You're leaving me hanging, dog." Watch it. It's funny promo between Anderson and Hogan, but there is some botches that you can tell TV's live now, which is good. I think that's what TNA needs, is live TV. We then go to the Angle, AJ Styles, and Sting versus Bobby Roode, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian match. AJ doesn't come out. I guess he still isn't back yet. So the match starts as a handicap match between Angle and Sting versus Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, and Bobby Roode. Christopher Daniels and Kazarian are in the ring trying to beat down Sting and Angle. Angle and Sting end up getting the upper hand. Sting puts the Scorpion Deathlock on Christopher Daniels. Angle puts the ankle lock on Kazarian. They both reach the ropes, so they have to break the holds. Christopher Daniels and Kazarian are keeping Sting in the corner after the break. Roode gets in the ring, beats down Sting. Sting powers out. 3-on-1 beatdown on Sting. Roode ends up telling Christopher Daniels and Kazarian to quit. Roode puts Sting in the crossface, and then AJ runs in the ring and breaks it up. Angle finishes clearing house because he gets back in the ring. Roode's in the ring, tries to hit Sting with the title. He misses Sting. Sting ends up putting him in the Scorpion Deathlock. Roode taps. Sting wins. The show ends with Sting standing in the ring with the championship in hand, basically taunting Bobby Roode, saying this is what's going to happen. And that's your Impact. Next we have Friday Night SmackDown. And we start SmackDown off with Alberto Del Rio in the ring, talking to the crowd, saying that he wants a replay of what happened last Monday. Says that at No Way Out, he will break Sheamus' arm, and then Sheamus' music hits, and it's Ricardo Rodriguez dressed as Sheamus with the red hair and the white tights because he's so white, which is funny. I'll admit it, I laughed. I'm not a fan of the heels, but I laughed. It was funny. Alberto says that he is going to be honest with the crowd, and that anyone can pound his chest, and anyone can spike their hair, but there is only one Alberto Del Rio, and that Sheamus will fall on his ass, his arse, excuse me. He said it in a Mexican accent, though. Sheamus will fall on his arse at No Way Out, and that Alberto Del Rio will come out the champion. The real Sheamus then comes out and gets double teamed by Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez, but cleans house anyways. Alberto Del Rio runs up the ramp, but Sheamus follows him, and Sheamus gets knocked down by the WWE symbol, which seems to be where everyone is getting their ass beat lately. Either way, Sheamus falls down, and by Ricardo Rodriguez, he grabs his legs again. Then the refs come out, split them up. Teddy Long comes out and says that Super Dave has put him in charge of SmackDown tonight. Teddy says that per John Laurinaitis, in the spirit of fairness, people power, 2 matches will happen tonight. Kane versus Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio versus Khali, and that match is right now. So we start with Alberto Del Rio versus Khali. Khali choppy, then gets his leg caught on the top rope. Alberto Del Rio takes down Khali, starts going to work on his legs. 2 pin attempts. Del Rio goes to the top rope, jumps off, gets chopped in the chest, more choppy. Ricardo Rodriguez distraction. Khali tries to choppy Del Rio. Del Rio capitalizes and starts working on the arm. Cross arm breaker. Khali taps. Alberto Del Rio wins. Did y'all really want a detailed description of the Khali match? Come on. We have the Big Show promo for No Way Out after that. And then the Funkettes, followed by Brodus, go in Teddy Long's office. And Teddy says he has some good news and some bad news. The good news is that the bad news is that Brodus Clay is no longer allowed on Raw in order for his safety and well-being. But the good news is that he is a permanent member of the SmackDown roster from now on. Brodus says that from now on, when he's in a match, the only person he's going to see standing across from him is the Big Show. We go to the match. We have a big pop for Brodus Clay when he comes out, and it's Brodus Clay versus Derek Bateman. Bateman gets squashed, period. I don't even think I recall Bateman getting a hit in. Brodus Clay wins. We have I was watching one that was being played in Germany. It was on the Sky Sports Network. So I don't know if the American people who watched it on their actual TV got this promo, but I got a WWE and Mexican promo recap. And then we have an Alberto Del Rio "Don't Try This at Home" cut, which basically Not Alberto Del Rio, I'm sorry, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan doing a "Don't Try This at Home." And it's basically we're trained professionals, don't try this at home. We then have Sin Cara versus Drew McIntyre. Sin Cara's high flying, McIntyre punchy kicky. McIntyre does a mean kick to Sin Cara's jaw, like mean. Sin Cara, then he picks up Sin Cara. Sin Cara counters the same move twice, pins. Sin Cara wins. And then we got Ryback versus two jobbers. This was a retarded shit promo from the jobbers. Ryback kills him. Ryback wins. Duh. It's your typical Ryback match. The ring people are then setting up the peep show, and Cody Rhodes comes out, trashes decoration. Rhodes says that he doesn't answer to Christian. Christian answers to him. He keeps talking, and Christian comes out, tells Cody Rhodes that he beat him for the IC title at Over the Limit, and he is a relevant wrestler, pretty much. It was Cody Rhodes was sitting there telling how, you know, Christian's a joke and Christian is a has-been and this, that, and the other. And that's when Christian came out and said, look, I beat you for the IC title. That simple. I beat you. Rhodes asked Christian why he made a face turn in so many words. You know, I'm kind of breaking character there. Christian says that when he inducted Edge into the Hall of Fame, he had a moment of clarity, and that he said he would rather earn his career and get a Hall of Fame induction than get it by whining for it. Rhodes says that that's garbage, and Christian got lucky at Over the Limit, and that at No Way Out, he will take the IC title back. Ziggler then comes out and tells Cody that it was nice that he started the peep show, but Ziggler will finish it now, and that Rhodes needs to get up and get out of his ring so he can beat Christian. So then we have Christian versus Ziggler. Ziggler does good, but not as good as Christian. Ziggler shows off, but still keeps up with Christian. Of course, if Ziggler doesn't show off, he wouldn't be the show off. No Vicky came out with him this time, though, which I'm kind of excited about. This is what I've been wanting to see from Ziggler. Anyways, Ziggler keeps up with Christian and vice versa. Solid match, but a little long. Crowd backed Christian through the entire match. Christian does a frog splash at the end of the match. Pin. Christian wins. We have a recap on the Michael Cole match with John Cena. Cole gets on the mic, says that Monday was Cole's most traumatic point of his career, and that everyone he knows will be very mature about this. And then JR's music hits, and out comes Hornswoggle, dressed as JR. He starts jumping around the ring doing his Hornswoggle jibber jabber, and it was weird because he had Hornswoggle stuff and JR's. He was saying JR's stuff, so it was just kind of all jumbled. Tells them to play the match again, so we get it twice in a matter of minutes, which I thought was a little bit of overkill, and then just laughs and speaks gibberish like you couldn't understand a word he was saying. Sandow comes out and speaks his normal stuff, says that he will save the world from this, and so Kid comes out to save Hornswoggle, kicks Sandow out of the ring. Sandow starts to leave. Kid's calling him up. Sandow starts to leave. Kid turns around and goes to make sure that Hornswoggle's okay. Sandow runs back in, beats the shit out of Tyson Kidd like he always does the back breaker, or does the neck breaker, the reverse neck breaker, I'm sorry, and pins him, but it's not a match, so he doesn't win, but he still does his little on him and smiling and eyebrow raising, which it's just, that's hilarious to me. It makes me laugh every time, even though I know he's a heel. He's funny. I'll give him that. We then have a Kane interview. He's asked about how he feels about potentially beating the WWE champion and the heavyweight champion in the same night, or in the same week. Kane says he doesn't care about that. He just cares about winning the WWE championship at No Way Out. And AJ is and the interview ends, and then all of a sudden AJ comes out from behind the crate, stalking, watching him. We then have Jimmy Uso versus Antonio Cesaro. Teddy is made to introduce and back Antonio Cesaro by John Laurinaitis. Cesaro squashes Jimmy Uso. Teddy is also made to raise his arm in victory after the match. Cesaro squash match. That's all you need to know. If you really want to watch it that bad, go back and watch it. Cesaro wins. We then have Sheamus versus Kane. It's a typical slugfest, but the crowd liked it. Sheamus starts to get the upper hand. White noise on Kane. Goes for the bro kick. Countered. Kane choke slam. Countered. Double choke slam on Alberto Del Rio. And Ricardo on Rodriguez because they got in the ring to interfere. No win via disqualification. So there is no winner. AJ then comes down and distracts Kane. Sheamus bro kicks Kane, and then Sheamus also bro kicks Ricardo Rodriguez because he's still in the match, and then the show ends, and that is your SmackDown. Now we go to a new segment that I'm going to do, which is only going to be on pay-per-view, the week before pay-per-view or the week of pay-per-view, and they're going to be my predictions for TNA and WWE. So this Sunday, which is this weekend, is Slammiversary 10, so I'm going to do my predictions. So here are your TNA Slammiversary predictions. Alright, we have several matches here that are supposed to be decent matches. We also have the official Hall of Fame announcement for the first Hall of Famer that's going to be in the TNA Hall of Fame. So let's just get right into it. First we have, I'm just going to go down my list. It's not necessarily in the order that it's going to be on the card. First one I have on here is the number 1 contenders match between Mr. Anderson, RVD, and Jeff Hardy. I want Jeff Hardy to win. I like Jeff Hardy. I'm a Jeff Hardy fan. If Anderson wins, I'm cool with that too. I don't think he's a heel, but he's not quite a face. But yeah, I want Hardy to win, so hopefully he wins. So, yeah. The next match I have up are AJ Styles and Kurt Angle versus Christopher Daniels and Kazarian for the World Tag Team Championships. AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, definitely, all the way. That's what I want, and that's all day, every way. That's what I want. Then we have Bully Ray versus Joseph Parks. I'm going to say it's going to be no winner. I was going to say it was going to be a no winner via DQ. But then when I went back and relooked at the page to make sure that I had all the matches, it said that it's going to be pretty much a no DQ match. So I am going to say that the winner is probably going to be Joseph Parks. But I believe that he's going to have help from Abyss. So yeah. Next we have Sting versus Bobby Roode for the Heavyweight Championship. I want to say Sting. I like Sting. I don't like Bobby Roode. I think that this whole Sting wrestling for the championship tonight and then the championship being defended on next week is an easy way to get the title off Roode at the pay-per-view and then the title off Sting at on Impact next week. So I'm gonna say Sting, or it could go the other way. It could be Roode because maybe Roode wrestles and then he's too tired or too beat up or whatever from the match at pay-per-view and loses it next Thursday. So actually, I'm gonna say either or. It's a toss-up for me. Next, we have Samoa Joe versus Austin Aries for the X Division Championship. Austin Aries, he hasn't lost this championship yet. I don't think he's going to start losing it now. And then we have we have Crimson. Once again, I still say he kind of looks like Christian versus in open-ended competition, so it could be anyone. So what I am going to say is, since it has been announced that Christian is showing up, I'm going to say that Christian comes in and ends the undefeated streak for Crimson. That's my thing. Next we have Miss Tessmacher versus Gail Kim for the Knockouts Championship. I want to say Miss Tessmacher because I think that I don't think Gail's a good champion. I don't like her. I don't think she has talent. So yeah, Miss Tessmacher. We're gonna go with her. Next, it's going to be Devon and Garrett Bischoff versus Robbie E and Robbie T. I'm going to say Devon and Garrett Bischoff because Robbie E and Robbie T are both jokes. Kid Cash versus Hernandez. I haven't been watching TNA long enough to know who these guys are. So I'm just gonna say Kid Cash. He looked cool. And then Hall of Fame announcements. The one wrestler, I want to say it's either gonna be Sting or Hogan. That's my choices. Okay, so to recap, number one contenders match, Hardy for the Tag Team Championships. It's going to be AJ and Kurt Angle. For the Parks and Bully Ray match, it's going to be Joseph Parks with help from Abyss. Sting versus Roode for the championship. It's a toss-up, either or. Samoa Joe versus Austin Aries for the X Division Championship is going to be Austin Aries. Gail Kim and Miss Tessmacher for the Knockouts Championship is going to be Miss Tessmacher. And then Crimson versus a random competitor. I'm going to say the random competitor will be Christian, and he will end Crimson's streak. Then Devon and Garrett Bischoff versus Robbie E and Robbie T. Devon and Garrett Bischoff. And Kid Cash versus Hernandez. I'm going to say Kid Cash. And then for my Hall of Fame induction, it could be Sting or Hogan. Those are my inductions. And now on to listener email. There is no listener emails because no one decided to send anything in. Apparently, it's not big enough yet for people to know what this is or to send in emails, or maybe people just don't care. I have not received a response from Colt Cabana yet. I am still trying, so there is no listener emails this week. Sorry. Well, that is the end of hashtag Face Talk. Let me give you some plugs before we get out of here. A couple people you guys need to go check out. Definitely check out the 3CR podcast universe, which would be 3 Count Radio, Backstage Heat, Answering the 10 Count, Outrage Wrestling, which is going to be coming up soon. He just has to start his shows. Double Count Out Radio, Heel Tactics, all those great shows, different formats. Definitely worth a listen. You can check it out at www.3countradio.com. That's the number 3, not the word. You can find all their podcasts there. I personally get them off of podbean.com, and I search the individual show names up, get them there, download them to my phone. Also, check out Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana. He does wrestling shows, wrestling podcasts, and he interviews a wrestler each time. And they got some good ones in there. They got some real recognized wrestlers. CM Punk, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries. They got a lot of good ones in there, so you should definitely go check that out. Other than that, there's not really anything I got for you. Check out those shows. Have a good time. This is 3 Count Zone, hashtag face. No regrets, Cena Tattoo Tony saying our time is up, but my time is now.